and added a little bit later, but that is our title. Preparing to live stream the meeting, setting up your meeting. Done, redirecting you to YouTube. So I can go back and add it a little bit later, but. And we are live. Preparing to live stream the meeting, setting up. There we go. All right, well, welcome to Planet Watch. I am here with Mary Jane Staudenmann, our resident astrologer based in Geneva, Switzerland. And I, of course, am in Kansas City, Missouri. And we're going to talk today about Leo. I am a Leo. And so I thought in honor of the occasion, I'd wear my bright, sunny Mexico dress.
Great Mexico dress.
Great choice, right?
Great, just excellent, excellent.
How are you, Mary Jane?
I'm really fine. Glad to be here with you again, Christi.
Good, 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 good. So we've got Leo coming up, and that is coming in end of July?
On the 22nd of July, actually. Yeah. 22nd of July is the solar ingress. This is the 0 degree entering into Leo. And this is a time when I like to get us involved, enmeshed in the Leo energy. Let's look first of all what that is. Leo is a fire sign. There is a heavy physical activity, a flame that's important. Leo is ruled by the heart. So we're really talking about the initial motor, the central motor of our human experience in Leo. Leo is a fixed sign. This means that this energy is a continual, reliable, a regular energy. We're not talking about thoroughbred horses. We're talking about quarter horses that can keep running for a long time and really do well on the long term. This is the Leo energy, and important in all of the fixed signs. This idea of a continuing, regular, reliable kind of an energy. Leos can get a lot done, and when they want to. Leo is I think the fixity of the Leo heart shows up in their devotion. Leos can be devoted friends. They take care of people. They live in prides, what we call prides of lions. Leos repeat themselves. There are always gangs of Leos in a family. It's a rather odd phenomenon.
I can speak to that. I can speak to that because I and my father and my sister are all Leos.
Yeah, this happens.
I love
such
that you
a
say
lot.
that.
It's
right?
Wonderful, and a nice, really nice family connection, family warmth that's pulled out of these family ties. Very good friends with that. Usually very loyal companions and loyal competitors. Leo is a sign of sports and fun in general, but sports is important to the Leo, and typically they're going to be fair play. This is the sign that we love to see in the Olympic Games, for instance, in all kinds of competition, because the Leo will play fair. He's out to win. He wants to show up. He's gotta get his medals, but fairly, fair, square, very honest. Competitors as a rule. Yeah, it's a very nice, very warm sign. You have to put up a little bit with the Leo wanting to be kind of first and foremost. There's a lot of that. There is a lot of that. But meanwhile, he's very good to his friends around himself. He's going to take care of people that he loves, and this is a wonderful energy, and usually very well, in fact. So that's initially the Leo energy, the motor that we have to deal with as the sun goes through Leo. And we're going to see this month, in fact, that there's a lot to deal with child care, taking care of children's issues around the world. These are going to show up, and the Leo energy can lend itself very well, very effectively to this kind of problem. We'll see this in a minute. First, though, I wanted to talk about the rather nasty, difficult attitude aspect that we still have hanging off between Venus and this moving sun. We've seen for a couple of months now, this Venus was going retrograde and was a long, long way, this maximum distance from the sun. And this is always a period of dissension. People aren't going to feel at ease in making connection, in making contracts, in making partnerships, in creating proper communication, and especially emotional communication. So here this month, Venus has come direct, but it's still way behind the sun, and it's going to stay the same 45-degree angle. It's half a square angle for another month and a half. We've just got to keep up this kind of tension until the 20th of September. So what goes on? We're in a period where there is sort of trial run on different kinds of relationships that are trying to get set up, but we're going to see much more in the attitudes of divorce, of separation, of ruptures of contracts. People are pulling apart much more than they're getting together. And in a very nasty context, there seems to be a lot of dissension, a lot of anger, a lot of spite, a lot of getting even. And this can go on. This is really going to complicate human relations on all kinds of levels, in fact. So it's not the absolute best time to be, I don't know, organizing community efforts and so on, because people are just not talking to each other on a right plane. It's difficult to get everybody situated around a table and with just nice, honest showing what they have in mind and what they want to do.
Well, in fact, how long has this square been going on?
Well, all last month, as Venus was going retrograde and reached its perigee, what we call the perigee, where it's as far out as it can get. It did that all last month and a half, actually, more than that probably, and is just now coming direct, but is still catching up, is still, as Venus moves at about, right now, it moves at about the same speed as the sun. It's going to take all this time, which is why the attitude, the aspect remains constant, remains as these two planets are moving along. They're still in the same nasty semi-square. And this just is not going to go away until, well, finally the mid-September, when Venus picks up speed and becomes a little more conciliatory. So that's why we still got, when you count it all, it's 4 months solid of hatred, which is why, it's just hard. And we feel it, don't we?
We feel it. Everybody's coming to me and saying, I'm just wigging out. I don't know what's going on. Why is everything so hard right now? I said, well,
yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I really think that's a lot of it. So this will get better, but it's probably going to be a really nasty and a very noisy month before things really start to just even out and people can come together without a whole agenda of ancient stories and all kinds of arguments that went on, before Methuselah. And so, there's just a lot of spite and a lot of hanging off of old sentiments. That's really too bad. Well, we ought to get on with things.
And we've got the election going on. People are electioneering. And then there's coronavirus. And it's like all of a sudden a virus has become political.
Totally. Yes, totally.
And people speaking truth are being pilloried. And it's just, it's a tough time.
There's another interesting movement in the in the sky this month that I think is going to help us perhaps through this election period as well in the States, is going to help us start organizing our arguments. And I think this is going to be useful, especially, well, I shouldn't get ahead of myself. The arguments go on, but some of the arguments change face. We've got to look, and we're going to look through this month at important children's issues, as I said before. This is going to take on the role of looking at how children are being treated in refugee camps, separation of children from their parents in all kinds of situations. I think there will be a new accent on perhaps new organisms that are going to be taking care, particularly of lost children and so on.
Right.
There's a lot of that, not in the best conditions. There's a huge square in the sun, that in the sky, that's talking about these problems, but at least the confrontations are there, and these kids are not going to be overlooked really during this period. I think we're going to see probably through this month, in any case, a time where, again, national headlines are going to be talking about an important kidnapping. There's a case of well, yes, some sort of loss of a child that just takes everyone's emotions, and this kind of bad treatment, but that has to be dealt with, is going to come to the surface. Yeah, and again, we talked earlier about this, the decisions that are going to be made about kids going back to school in September. It's right now in July, August, where these things have to be decided. And I think this is part of the children's issue, how to treat this lost generation a little better than maybe we did in the last year anyway, and how they can get on with their schooling and in the best possible conditions. And again, we're going to run into all the political arguments alongside all that.
Right, for and against. The administration tried to say that the United States administration, let me be clear, tried to say that if schools are not back full-time, kids in classes this fall, they would not receive funding, and that's actually, they can't do that. It's
I
not
didn't think so. Oh my God.
constitutional. But there is that attitude that you have to get back right away. So yeah, this has become such a political mess when it should be public health. Anyway,
Well,
but yeah,
exactly. Health
how
and morals. It's not a question of, are my Republican kids going to private school or anything. It's,
right,
what do our children need? What does this
right.
generation of children need? And that should be the only thing that's important, as close as I can tell. But
Absolutely. So I love that this is really coming up in the sky in our planets just to be discussing now. And I do think that the children in refugee camps, the children who are separated from their parents at the American borders and sleeping on concrete floors, no
right.
touching, only the comfort of an aluminum blanket, that's not okay. And many of these children are lost. They
Yes,
do not
indeed.
know where they are.
That's it. That's it. These kids are just the whipping boys of all of these people in power, and that's not a good attitude. It's not a good adult attitude, any way you slice it. This cannot happen. We've got to go beyond the technical and political and border issues, and get onto a little more humanity. I think would do us all a world of good.
Right, right.
There's
So
one other movement that I wanted to talk about, especially as the sun comes down, and especially as it gets into mid-August, especially between the 10th and the 19th of August. We're in a very difficult period for a sun, willful, solar energy, decision-making people out there to get anything done. The sun is slipping into a very specific aspect with our old friends Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter down here, all with Neptune, and the sun is making a very particular attitude of indecision, of dissatisfaction, not knowing what to choose, not knowing where to go. And this is going to last for the week and a half, in any case, there in mid-August. Just be ready for especially you Leo folks, and anybody that's concerned, actually.
well, do you have dates for that?
Yeah, between the 10th and the 19th of August are really the best ones.
So periods of indecision.
Yes, unsatisfactory compromises. This yod, it's called the isosceles triangle that the sun is making with all these planets, is one of indecision. You feel as though something absolutely has to be done, but it's not going to happen. And you just have to sit back. And I tell my clients when they come into a place like this, I said, just don't do anything until like the 30th of August, ride this out. Take in the information, take in the facts, pull out your pendulum if you need to, whatever you need to do. But wait until you're in a healthier position to finally make a decision or reach a proper compromise that's going to keep everyone happy.
Absolutely. That sounds like something that you might do in a retrograde, for example.
Yeah, exactly. It's that same kind of feeling, but it's a little more awkward anyway, in that you feel quite pulled. This isosceles triangle based on two angles of 150 degrees. And this particular Kankunks, as it's called, the 150-degree angle, is one of just indecision. I always feel as though you're being shot through a pinball machine, and you're bouncing off the walls like this. And that's exactly the feeling. It's not the opposition, which is rather clear. Your opposition, you have to go here, or find something in the middle. But with these quincunx, it's called, there's nowhere to go. You just can't. You just feel itchy. And it doesn't go away until it goes away. So I'm saying after the 25th of August, everybody's going to be a lot more comfortable to get some decisions made and to finally get on a right track. This whole period, however, is in a very nice attitude toward Eris. And this tells me that this sun that doesn't know exactly where to go is going to get a lot of help from a very bossy woman. Women in control. Yeah, women in control are going to help a lot in getting over this very undecided kind of itchy period. So yeah, go looking for the smart women around you, and we'll all be better off, actually. So that's kind of what I had in mind. There are some interesting dates through here. Now we're going to see, I'm looking at my moon here, on the especially on the 25th, 26th of July, the moon is coming over Juno and is sort of setting off this period of problems with children. We're coming into a time when, again, these important decisions are going to have to be made. There'll be some new legislation. There'll be a new eye opening onto the problem of these children. Another good point for that involved, and perhaps some important decisions being made on the 28th of July. Then we come into this incredible hard decision-making time as the moon comes over Jupiter and Pluto, the 1st and the 2nd of August. Now, this is a time when all of a sudden we feel a lot of pressure. People are coming around us saying, look, we've got to do this. We've got to get this show on the road. We've got to get this project taken care of at just the time that we're slipping into this incredible indecision, difficult time to make any decision. To put everybody on hold until such time as we can slide through this. The other peak of that stress is perhaps the 6th of August, when the moon is going over Neptune, and it will just create enough confusion to put off any important decision making until the 20th. So those are some of the, I think, important dates as far as the traveling of the moon around here. Yeah, those are really the key ones. We're going to see a little stress in our activities, and probably an important positive stress, however, around the 10th of August. Now, certainly on I want to say on a government basis, or on an economic basis, also on a political basis. The 10th of August is a period, I don't know where the different conventions fall in here. I was thinking perhaps, I
Yeah.
really don't know. But in any case, this is a time of important decision making. This is when people have to speak up. I think there will be some changes in attitudes on the high political basis. Different arguments are coming to the fore that maybe haven't been addressed or properly addressed before. So in any case, as the moon comes over Uranus, I'm looking at that, and it's a time when there is a need to look at a new approach, some new things happening here, and we can't put off decision making as long as you might want to, in fact. But I think this is going to show up mostly on the political level, on the economic level, as some new energies, new ideas, and some new fact-finding energies are going to be made available, and very
I did
noisily
look up
too.
the dates for the United States Democratic National Convention and the Republican.
Uh-huh.
So Democrats are meeting August 17th through the 20th, and then the
Oof, yeah.
Republicans August 24th to 27th.
Uh-huh.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, well, the Democrats are going to have to keep their wits about them to make some, because they're going to have their backs to the wall as far as making some important policy decisions and some important, vice presidential decisions and all the rest. So they're really in a kind of a tight spot, but again, coming out of what is a very difficult time. I think they're going to come out of their convention much more consolidated than when they're going into the convention. I think with that in mind, they'll be doing a good job. The Republican convention is what did you say, the 24th?
24th through the 27th.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, we'll be involved in Virgo energy at that point, and we'll see what happens there. I haven't pulled that up yet, but yeah, that's going to be interesting. It's going to be particularly interesting in view of the semi-square from Venus to the Sun. This argumentative attitude is going on, and was going to touch on things they have to get decided then. So
Right. Yeah, and that lasts through September 20th, you said.
yep. Yeah, so we've got some hard decisions to be making, and a sky that doesn't help a lot to get these decisions made. But we'll hang in there. Again, things get easier through the 19th, 20th of August and beyond. Then we'll be under another sky too, another sun in any case, and see what that looks like at the time. Meanwhile, let's keep our wits about us, especially collect the facts, and don't be fooled by anger, by over emotions. That's it. There's a lot of old stuff that's hanging on and blocking our progress, basically about making compromises, about hearing the other guy. And so we're going to have to be very careful in just leaving place for diplomacy and leaving aside our old angers.
Right, right, right. Easier said than done, especially when the skies are kind of working against us.
Yes, true enough, true enough.
But that's always something that we should be working on, is just keeping our wits about us, checking our facts,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and treating each other well.
Treating each other well. Leo, as I said, the Leo period can be a time of meanness as well. This is when I feel as though there's a need to be excellent. There's a need to be me first. It can be a very selfish period for a lot of people. And so you have to chill out a little bit about that. Remember the other guy. Remember empathy. Remember compassion, and practice this fair play that the Leo is also capable of, and that this energy can also contain. Yeah, fair fights. Fair fights. It's going to come down to that. So we may as well talk about it. But that's it. Just being the decent, the loyal opposition wherever we go.
Right, right. And staying true to ourselves.
Uh-huh.
So always a good thing, always a good thing. Well, Mary Jane, thank you so much for your perspective. Leo is certainly going to be very interesting with children's issues coming to the forefront.
Mm.
And just everyone just kind of chilling and making sure they get facts. And this is a great fact accumulating period, maybe not
Definitely.
decisions, but there are so many things that go into a decision. There's research and, just gathering information.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
right, right.
Right.
Thank you so much. And we'll be back in Virgo.
Yes, definitely. Toward the end of, well, about the 21st of August, we'll be jumping into the Virgo energy, which is quite another bag of worms, but we'll see about that one too.
We'll see about that one. And if anyone would like to schedule their own consultation, their astrological consultation with a natal chart and a solar return, please go to the Radiate Wellness website, which is radiatewellnesscommunity.com, and schedule there. What we do here with Planet Watch is an overview. And many things will be true on a global perspective, but for each individual, things will vary greatly. Thank you so much, Mary Jane, for joining me today. It has been so much fun.
It's been a real pleasure. So I'll see you in Virgo.
See you in Virgo.